Hey YouTube, we're out here in the seed house, or the seedling house, getting everything watered in. It is the second week in March, March 18th, and we're about ready to go here. We've got a lot of plants growing. So, you know, your basic culprits: lettuce, spinach, onions, brassicas, marigolds, some flowers, tomatoes, the peppers are in the house, some herbs, the geraniums, or anything that needs to be started ahead of time, because we have such short growing season here. And I want to get everything in early because it looks like we're going to be having a El Nino this year, which when we have an El Nino, it gets hot. It gets real hot, so I want to try to get a harvest before the heat comes in, at least of the brassicas. Alright. Get everything a really good drink. They had really stressed last night with the cold, but it was sunny all day today, so they loved that. It wasn't that warm. We were in the 30s, so seed house stays about 60 degrees 24/7. Well, I'm glad I brought the extra gallon of water, because I done run out. I pour everything into this green one because it's the one that's most gentle. My other two ones, they blast the plants right out of their cell trays, so I use this one. My husband's gonna hook up the spigot in a couple of weeks, but it don't do me any good right now. There. So everything's got a good drink. And now what I'll do is I'll fill these back up with water. I'll bring them out here and just leave them out here so that they warm up a little bit, because it is very cold out here if I leave them outside, or the water that's coming right out of my faucet. It's well water, so yeah, it's pretty cold. So, and then once I'm done with that, I gotta top off my heaters. This is a kerosene heater. It is so efficient. This thing is amazing. I have these tanks. They hold a couple of gallons, well, about a gallon and a half a piece. I go through 2 a day when it's really cold. So that's not too bad. Ooh. Made a mess. So this is the one I pulled out this morning at 4:30. You can see that little 1 gallon didn't even fill it. So I'll grab the other one. There we go. There. So I'll just leave this right here. This one still has a lot of fuel in it, so I'm just going to leave that. I'll come back out here about 9 o'clock tonight and swap them out, refill that, so that when I come out here again at 4:30 tomorrow morning, all I got to do is swap them. And the house is in a really good spot because my bedroom window is right there. So if I get out up in the middle of the night, I can just look down into the house and see whether it's got fuel or not. If all the lights are flashing, it ran out of fuel. Then I know to get my butt down here. And that's it. We're just kind of going to be doing this probably for about another month. Wait until we get into April. And then we'll be going down to the big houses down there. We have another one of these heaters, only much larger, that we're going to use for the high tunnel. And then for the low tunnel, we actually have a pellet stove that we're going to use for that. And we'll just hook up the whole fan system. When it gets too warm up here, the fans kick on and push all the air back down so that it circulates and all the heat just doesn't rise up and I lose it all. So, but everything's doing pretty good. They like it. Like I said, there's some cold damage, but not a lot. There's more in the house. They just haven't made their way out here. I'm in the middle of transplanting. So I do them in these cell trays. They're 72s. And then when they get big enough, I transplant them into 6-packs. And that just buys me time until I can get everything into the ground so they don't get like really root bound. Also, being in small cells like that, they dry out very quickly. I'm in here watering every day. Every day when I get home from work, I'm out here watering just to make sure I don't lose anything, especially when it gets real hot. If I know that we're going to get into the 40s during the day, when I come out in the morning and switch the heater, I have to open the door because it just gets too hot in here. Last time we hit 50, it was almost 89 degrees in here, which is just too much for these plants. These are all cold weather plants, except for the tomatoes, but they love it. But they can handle a cool temp. Not what they had last night. When I came in here this morning, it was 43 degrees in here. That's too cold for tomatoes. Everybody else is happy, but the tomatoes, not so much. So that's pretty much it for now. We'll come back here and hopefully over the weekend. Like I said, today's Wednesday. Bring some more plants out here. And we'll just wait for spring. Because it's time. It's time to start growing stuff, right? Everybody excited? I'm excited. I can't wait. I love growing stuff. It's so much fun. And I have a lot come up this year. So I'll be bringing the artichokes out. A lot of artichokes came up this year. And I got to do more seeding. I haven't done nowhere near enough seeding. But you see I got things on the floor because I ran out of space. I grew a lot this year because last year was a dud because of the drought. We hit 90 degrees in June, beginning of June, and stayed there until August. And everything just, they couldn't handle it. It was just too damn hot. And then we didn't have any rain. And it's like, I have a well, so I got to be careful on how much I water. I don't want to run my well dry. So yeah, it was a bust. Anything in the greenhouses survived. And that's pretty much it. Everything else died, so it wasn't a good year. But that's why I grow as much as I grow, because I had enough to get me through a second year in my cold room without having to buy too much. So, but yeah, this is the seedling house. So we will come back in a few days to a week and see how much bigger everything is. The onions are doing great. More marigolds. Tomatoes will perk up. Now that they've got water, they'll perk up. And they get the brassicas down there. Geraniums. More brassicas. Herbs. Zinnias took a little bit of a hit. But I'm going to take them in and transplant them out. I think it's time for them to get into 6-packs. So that's my next project. That's what I'm going to do now. So thanks for watching, and everybody have a good evening. Bye.